Welcome back in my channel today. Hope you are doing great and good with the God's grace. And I'm assuming and hoping that you like my day 1 and day 2 video as well. Today we are on the day number 3 and we are going to be discuss on a specific part of the scripting that is called the client side script and the UI policy scripting. If I speak from experience, I was not aware that we can do the scripting in the UI policy as well. But while doing this R&D, while doing the interview discussions, I come to know about the UI policy scripting as well. So let's start the discussion on the client side script and the UI policy scripting. Again, I'm on my favorite place, my favorite book, that is Introduction to the Client Side Scripting. In this particular topic, in this particular recording, in this particular session, we are going to be discuss mainly these 3 parts. Client-side scripts, or I can say client scripts directly, UI policies, how and when to write the scripts here, and how to test the scripts, because testing is very important part. I'm not saying that testing is from the output perspective, no. I'm saying how you can test that your script is running fine or not. Maybe it is giving the expected result or not. That is the second part. I want to make sure that it runs properly, compiled properly. Client-side scripts or the client scripts are the very basic scripts in ServiceNow. As the name indicate, as we discussed in our day 1 as well, day 1 recording as well, that client scripts means which run in front of the user, specifically on the user interface perspective. On the form level, I can say that run on the form level, that is called the client-side scripts here. So what this book says, the client-side scripts are generally client-side scripts mostly used by the developers. By default, it run on the view all, it will run on the all views on a form. It means it is not specific to the view. When I say the view, I'm talking about this thing here. Like you can go here, and if I save this part, or let me open anything like this incident. Because these are the basic question has been asked in the interview. Either you are going to for any discussion, any point. But this question has been asked to you very much. So when I say the view, I'm talking about this view specifically. Like this view. These are the views I'm talking here. Okay, so client script will run on all the view of a form unless you specify that which view should be used, on which view it should be running, it should not be running. Okay, but it can be set up only run for a certain view as well by unchecking the global checkbox and enter a specific view in the field up here. So we will discuss this part when we start writing the client scripts. We will discuss this part, that where I can put specific views as well in the client scripts. Second point, if you are extending or you are creating a table by extension of some other table, by default all the client scripts which has been defined on the parent table also get copied, or I can say inherited into the child table as well. Again, it is up to your requirement. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can uncheck that box. But default, it will copy. So like if I say, like on the task table, I have a script. I have a client script to check the short description mandatory for all the upcoming tables. If you want that this client script should not run on the incident table, then you can have a complete rights to make it as a untick. Excel inheritance is a untick. So I'll show the client script face as well, that how this look like, interface has been look like here. So now we have a 4 type of the client scripts. So this is what the basic question is asked in the interview. Again, it is not only from the development perspective. Nowadays, I appeared a lot of interviews in the last 2 or 3 years basically. But I found that when I apply for the functional role, functional consultant role, or kind of a technical functional role, people ask this question. Okay, what is the difference, or what is the meaning, what do you mean by the client script and the server side scripts? How many type of client scripts is given by ServiceNow? So total 4 types has been given by ServiceNow: onload, onChange, onSubmit, onSell, edit. there's a difference. There's a major difference between on change and the on cell edit. A lot of people, when I interviewed some of the candidates, I asked this question, that what is the difference between on change and on cell edit? Same answer. On change means if you're changing some field value, and on cell edit means if you're changing some value. Then why ServiceNow give two options? So we will discuss in depth from the difference perspective, that what is the difference here. So as the name indicate, the onload script basically run when you are loading the form. This particular script is mainly used to check. Let's say when I log in into the HR portal and HR don't want that I can see some of the confidential information, then they use the onload script there. What this means, that by default, or maybe when the script has been run, it check that do I have a proper access? If yes, then I can able to see. So like this example, if you see here, so I log in as the admin here and I can see multiple things like this. These are the related list I can see. But if I write the code on the load of this form and will check if a user who logged in should not able to see these many related list. So these things can be possible on the onloading part. So what it says, the onload client script type run when a form is loaded. This can be helpful to manipulate the data on a form before users start using it. So like if I say before we onboard the flight, all the pre-clinic has been done. That is the onload. So that you should not see that what went wrong, what was cleaned or not cleaned in the earlier. So that kind of things we can use the on client script, and also on client onload type under the client script. And when we are using this onload, it has a function called the onload here. So let me show you something like this here. Let's come here and search for the client scripts. Okay. When I search for the client script, let me create a new client script for my incident table. I'll go here and I create a new script here. LNG test demo. Because client scripts are the one which run on a specific table. The same concept apply here. That like for the notification for the SLA, it has been considered here. What you want to do if this thing happen? Okay, so now I'm putting in the table here. Let me do the table on the incident. Incident UI type means where you want to run this script. Like we have nowadays we have a desktop and mobile app of the service portal. I want to run on the desktop or everywhere. I can say in the all. Type. Here the question, here the point come onload. As I click on the onload, you can see the onload function has been updated here. Then the scope is global. If you want to inherit it, if you want that it should be extended, applies extended as well. So you can make it as a tick box. Otherwise you can make it as a false. Global means it will be used when I say this is the point which we discussed. If you untick this box, you can specify that only for a particular view this script should run. I am putting as a now for the global. You can put a description here. This is my demo script, and then you can put any message if you want. If you can go here, click on the question mark. What it said, text string 1 per line available on the client script as localized message using the get message. So it will be work like a get message for you because it is a onload. Now what I can do here when the form load, I say let's come here and check what they be saying here. So this is when you are loading the form, you can write your code here. So let's say yesterday we saw in the on the previous I can say session we saw that we have G_form, and then we can use that part. I can say G_form get, and I can say add info message, and what info message I want, welcome in LNG training, and I put semicolon and let put me save here. So now when I load the incident table, when I click on the incident, let's try to do is it working or not. I'm not sure that it will work or not for me. Okay, let's see. So it is working for us. This is becoming from the onload part. You can do any changes in this part. If you want to set a value, let's say if I come here and can say, because the main thing which I'm using is G underscore form. Remember, that is the client side glide class. G underscore form dot get value of the short description. Remember, I'm saying it's a short description, so I need to put like this. Description. And then G underscore form dot set value of the short description what I want to put. Welcome. And let's do this part and let's save it. Now let me go here and reload this page. Let's see what changes happen, because it's a onload now. So now you can see message is coming and it's setting up the value for me. So you can think, you can plan anything which you want to do the onload, but what the recommendation is that avoid the onload scripts as much as you can do, because more things if you put on the form level, the performance will be low. User will be facing a lot of issue while loading this particular form. So what recommendation I can give here is that only allowed one onload script on each table rather than putting the multiple part. Okay, that is number one point we discuss on the onload part. Now the second point, that is the on change. If something change on the field level, then I want to show or I want to do some action. So let me do this thing now. Let's come here on the client script part. Let's create a new client script. You can modify this as well, but I would like to avoid that part. Okay, let me put LNG on change. And I put the table as incident. Incident. And type I am putting as a on change. Hello, and on change now on change has a bigger function. Why bigger function? Because it says, let's say if I reach to my home and I ask my kid, hey, where is my laptop? It was there only, and I'm not getting a new laptop, I'm getting the old laptop here. It means need to be talk about the old value. What was the old value? What is the new value? Is loading, is a template, and the control. These 5 are the parameters for the function called the on change, and these 5 are equally important here. Let's discuss this in depth first, and then we'll come to the exercise part. So on change says that if I change the username here, let's say I'm putting my name, learn and grow. If I run a script on the on change, if I'm changing the caller from, maybe I can put EMA here, then the category should also change to the software. This is called the on change, means by changing one field, what action you want to do, that you can do in the on change. Okay, so let's discuss this point, that what this particular thing do for us. Like this. So what this is, on change has a 5 major parameters. Control. We are talking about this thing, control. Let me see if I can. I recommend ServiceNow to give a option to increase the font as well here. Okay. So now what it's saying, control. Dynamic HTML of the field has been changed. How this script will know if something is changing or not? The first parameter, that is called the control here. Now old value. What was the previous value? Because maybe when you load the form, if I take this example, let's say, reload it. When I load this form, there is no caller information available. Then I don't want that my on-change script should be run here. In this case, we are using the old value. That what is the old value, and you're using the new value here. That what is the new value? If new value is already blank, while loading the form, I know that there is no value. Then why I would want to be run the on-change script? So I will put something like this. If is loading, new value is blank. Means if what this code says that if you are running, if the script is running, it will check is the form is loading. Yes. And the new value is empty. Then return. It means don't execute. No action required here. This is what the onloading say. If is it true, if form is loading, otherwise false. Because now I am loading it. And when I am loading, then my on-change script can be run, because on-change script is basically work before on-change, it work as a onload. So let me show you that part as well here. So if you come here, you can see this. It is important to note that on-change script also run when the form is loaded. So don't get confused that on-change run only when the form, where I'm changing any field. No. Actually, on-change run on the time of the loading as well. Maybe you are opening an existing incident. Then it is a loading only. Okay. So now if I come down here, the fifth parameter says is the template. Means is any value coming in these fields from the template or not. So like this. Is it true if the change has occurred as a part of the template load, otherwise false. Like we are using this part, right? Like this toggle information and toggle template bar. If I template, I can put it. So when the script run, it says that do I need to be taking action? If it is coming from the template, I don't require any action here. Otherwise, I require the action here. So you can put yes or no easily as per the requirement here. But remember the key point, the key difference is that on-change is a script which run on the onload as well. This is the first basic difference which I found here, and something from the interview perspective can be asked here. Okay. Now if I come down here, so something we are doing here like this. What I'm saying that run this script only, don't run this script if the new value is empty while the form is getting loaded into the for the user. We will see some practical part here, or maybe I can say, let's do something here. Let's go here on change. Okay, this is the one I'm saying. I say new value or g underscore form. Let's put like this. Dot get value. Okay, maybe I can pick up some other example in the later on, because we are going to do some exercise on that part. Okay. Now if I scroll down here on submit, as the name indicates, submission means when you are clicking on the save part. When you're clicking on the save part, then something runs, some script run, that is called the on submit. Now what recommendation is here? Avoid the on submit script. If possible, try to be convert that on submit and use the server side script. Maybe some business rule, maybe something else, but avoid the on submit script. The reason being because unless the script on submit will not run, the next action cannot be taken into the place. So that is the reason it's avoid this part. And how the on submit look like here? Let's come back here and let's change it to the on submit. It will not work, so let me save and let me this on change and submit like this only, and I'll create a new script here. Okay, let's create a new script that is for the on submit. Sorry, lng on submit. I want to be do for the incident type on submit, and this is on submit here. What I can do, g underscore form dot add info message. thanks for checking, and then I click on this and I click on the save here. Now when I submit this form, let me try to do this part. Let me put learn and grow here and like this, and I click on the submit here. I mean, whether it will run or not. Sorry, it did not run. Let me open it again. Incident, let me come here. I don't want this this part. Caller, learn and grow, and let save this. It's not working. It means something went wrong here, which is not be taking that value. It's not showing the error, showing me the this one, thanks for checking. It should show me that thanks for checking option as well. Let's see what we will be missing here. Okay, this type of script is not used widely because it create a problem at the later on. That is, it says that avoid this particular option and go for the server side script if possible. Let's come down here. So what it say like this. Some function on submit. You will see in the upcoming examples that how this on submit actually work for me. Okay. Now on submit client script is used to check the field value before a save take place and about the save if invalid exists in the field. So basically it has been used that while saving the record, okay, or I can say like this, if g underscore form dot get value, and I can put short underscore description, or maybe I can put description now, that will be good. P description is empty. Okay, it's giving me some error here. Okay, it's saying parsing error is not equal to like this, and then we can make a changes here. Okay, so you can put it like this. If the description is empty, then unterminated string, it's saying it's an unterminated string. No, it's talking about the string, sorry. This is what. Let's try to save this now. It has been saved. It's still giving me error. Okay, it's giving me error like get value this, and okay, sorry, this is missing. This single quote is missing here. This one. Now let's try to run this part. Let me open this and incident.list and click on the new here, and I am saying the description is blank here. Caller, learn, grow, and save. Oops, it's still not working. We need to see that what's getting wrong here. Okay, so it's saying that while on submit, thinking that you can do the things, but better you avoid on the on submit and go for the client, sorry, server side scripting only. So like this they'll be saying. So we have a function called the on submit, and when it run, it will give you the proper error message or this part. Generally on submit we use if we want to be abort any action, then we use the on submit part here. Okay. Now on cell edit, another important point, that is on cell edits, and it is a difference. There's a difference between the, I put it some comment here as well. It is difference between the on cell change. On cell change work on the form level like this, on the field level. Here it work. Okay, but on cell edit work on the list view level. Let me show you. Okay, Let me open it all. So if you want to make some changes here, then we will use the on cell edit. So don't be confused that both are the same. No, both are not same, both are different. Now if I want to make a change in the priority, or maybe I can want to make a change in the category, then I will use the on cell edit here. And how it's work? This is the way that it work here. It has a function called the on cell edit like this. Let me show you something on the scripting part here. Let's get a new script here. Sorry. Client script. And now let's get a new script here called the on cell edit. LNG on cell edit. And if you are using the on cell edit, you have to be specify that which field you will be making a change here. Incident. Okay, and then put the on cell edit. So here you have to put the field that on which field you want to run this script. It is not working on the table level, so don't be confused. The on cell edit specifically work on the specific to the field only. Like I want to put on the category. If someone changing the category, then what you want to be displayed. But before that, let's discuss about this function, that how this function has been defined here. So the function says on cell edit. It has a sys ID, table, old value, new value, and the callback. Again, the 5 parameter which has been almost similar from the on cell change here. The major point which is be important here is called the callback here. So let's discuss in the standard definition here. So it says sys ID number 1, because on the list view, if I come on this, by the list updater role, I can update the changes in a bulk as well. So to capture the sys ID for all these records, we are using the sys ID as a first parameter. That is the one thing. All the sys ID of the unique ID has been created, records have been added in the array. So these all 20-30 records has been kept, the sys ID has been kept in the array here. Then table, on which table you want to run this part. That is coming from the incident. Old value, which was the old value and what the new value want to be put it here. And then the callback. Callback specifically says that do you want to commit the changes or not. So like if I say here, if I make a change here, okay, software. So it's updating for me. I did not get any message here. Otherwise, I get a message that record has been submitted, has been not submitted, has been updated. The value has been changed. So from where these messages are coming? These messages are coming from this place only. A callback that allow the execution of the further on-call cell edit script or commit the changes made if no further scripts exist. So answer should be, the parameter should be either yes or either no. So true or false are the things here. Okay, this type of script is very much important because by using this script you can allow the user or you can restrict user to make a changes in the bulk from the list view itself. Okay, so this is what point they're saying. Editing record in the list view can also be a powerful tool for updating multiple record at once. So it is sometimes locked down to the only certain users. Let's say I don't want that a user who have an IT role can update this in the bulk part. Atul, you can give, you don't need to be give the list updater role, but still I'm giving that role, but I don't want user should able to make a change on the priority. Then in these cases we can use the on cell edit specifically on the priority part. We will do this exercise in the now after few minutes only. Okay, so these are the things is important. Now the second part of today's session is called the UI policy. A good question asked in the interview, And how the interviewer asks this question: what is the difference between client script versus UI policy and versus data policy? When to use the client script, when to use the UI policy, and when to use the data policy. So client script, we saw that when you want to do some operation on the form level, use the client script. UI policy, the standard UI policy given by ServiceNow, and only 3 action can be done: mandatory, visible, or read only. If you want to make any field as a mandatory, if you want to field visible, and if you want to make a field as a read only, then we use this particular UI policy. It is again a type of the client side script only, and also recommended, if you can achieve anything via UI policy, don't go for the client side script. You can make the field mandatory via UI policy, but I am a good coding lover. I would like to go for the scripting. That is not recommended at any point of time. And being an architect, we should avoid these things. UI policy work on the conditions. That is a good part. You can just put the filter condition, or you can put the condition in the interface, and you can do that. But neither there is nothing need to be work or do like a coding for the conditioning part. That is a good point here. Where in the client script you have to put the condition that when this should run, when this should happen. So let's come to the UI policy and quickly see the UI policy scripting. Okay, let me come to this point here, and then we'll go for the some exercise as well. UI policies. Okay, let me leave it this, and I click on this part. So as I say, UI policy work on the front end, first facing part. I can say on the form level, I can say it's work. UI policy has 4 major sections which we have to be understand. Number 1 point is called the global. Again, the same concept which is applicable for the client script. If I untick this box, it will ask me that do you want to run this UI policy for a specific view? You can put yes or no here. Generally we put global so that we want to make a consistency here. Otherwise you can avoid that. That is totally up to you. Onload means via this onload option you can see that do you want to run this policy when form is getting loaded? Yes or no, up to you. Again, if you put onload, it will increase the performance issue later on. So avoid onload part specifically. Then reverse if false. It means if condition did not match, then what happened? And last, inherit. Table that extend the specific table inherits this UI policy. If you are, or if someone is creating the table and using this table, they want to inherit it, not you can, or sorry, in table that extend the specific table in the inherit this policy. So if I'm putting this table as an incident, then I'm inheriting all the UI policies of this particular option. So let me come here to verify that part. Global, global means for the specific view. Onload means when to run. Reverse false if condition does not match. I'll come to the conditioning part as well. And inherit is unset by default. Unset means unchecked by default. This allowed table that extend the selected table to inherit the policy. Okay, for example, a policy on the task table would be inherited by the incident table. If you make it as a tick, it means you are accepting the table you are putting here. All the UI policies you are accepting in your incident table as well, which generally developers don't want. So I'm making it as an untick here. Now the question comes, Atul, where we can put the condition? You are saying that UI policies work on the condition. So here is the condition part here. So you can put the condition. Let me select the table here first. Incident. Okay. And here I can put condition. I can put short description contains welcome. Then the next question is that That's fine. Atul, if condition matching, then what to do? Then the concept came here called the UI action, UI policy action. So it's like if there is a fire, then what to do? If there is a fire, you have to be called to the fire brigade. Will applicable for every situation, small fire, big fire? That is kind of the global part. Do you want as soon as the fire begin, then you want to be called? I put onload. If fire get low, shall I call back to the fire brigade and say don't come? And by default, I'm saying either it's a big, small, large, anywhere if the fire, you have to be called the fire brigade. That is called the condition here. Now, if I save this part, then I'll come LNG test. Okay. When I save this UI policy, then I have to be define the UI action. Means what I say in the UI action that you can only do 3 UI action. You can see here. Either you can make it a field mandatory, visible, or the read only. This particular topic is not for our discussion, but just to give an overview that how it's work, you can put these things here. Now what developer do? They are very smart. They know that I cannot achieve everything via the UI action. Then they do the scripting part here. It says if this is the condition, go to the script and run the script. And in the running script, we have 2 options. If condition match, then what should be done? If condition did not match, then what should be done? So if I say if condition match, g_form dot add info message. Even though we did not get success as of now in this particular message, okay, but let's try. And if fail, g_form dot add info message data. Okay, let's see if it's I'm be a good developer or not. Let's see. Save it and let create a new incident here. Let's see if it will work or not. New. Yes, it's saying welcome, welcome, welcome. What happened now? Let's see what we are doing. So it's showing this welcome here now because it matches the condition. And along with this, let's see, is the both things work together, my UI action and my script. Let's see. Then field name, I can say description become mandatory. I'm just doing a testing here. I'm not sure that we will be able to get success or not. So as of now, if you see it become mandatory here, and I got the message as well. If I remove this, reverse if false work, and we get a message as well. So the ultimate point is that the glide classes which we learned in the last class, in the last session, we are going to be use those glide classes in our client script now. So let's come back here. So this is the what we are doing here at point of time. Okay, the only function it run is called the on condition here. True and false, it works. So it means you can do both of the things in the UI policy. You can make a field mandatory, read only and visible via UI action. And if you want to show some kind of a error message, you can do that part via UI policy scripting. Good. We are going in a good pace now, I can say. Even though in the previous one we did not get success. So like this, we can do that part which we done. Okay. Now let me come here. This is very much important point. Generally from the consulting perspective, if I say that I'm working as a techno-functional consultant. So nowadays company asks, what do you mean by the techno-functional consultant? It means I can understand the code. I support my technical team in the high level, low level designs. Then they says, okay, do you work on the coding as well? I said no. Do you check the code? I said yes, sometime I check. Okay, tell me when to write the client scripts, when to write the UI policies? These are the question has been asked. So if you want, again the same answer I'm giving, if you want to do any kind of a operation on the farm level, then use the client script, but avoid if you can, like on submit, avoid, onload, avoid, because these two are the scripts which take a lot of time. And now if you want to see that how many scripts run on this particular incident, then you can scroll down and you can click on this icon and you can see here response timing. You can see that okay, UI policy onload has been done here, UI policy client scripts onload has been done like this here. Do we have our policy? Yes, see our policy also run here. We have the client script, right? Let's see, do we have the client script? No, we don't have a client script like this. Or this demo is our client script, right? So this is the place you can run. By seeing this, the timings, you can understand that which script is taking a lot of time. And that is the recommendation by ServiceNow. When you are doing the scripting, even though if you saw my previous video on the customization part, it is always said, if you're doing any kind of a customization, please do the system performance check regularly. For me, if you ask me, writing the script is a customization. If I can do the things via UI policy, it's good. But if I want to write a script, I say it is a customization. Maybe it different from everybody perspective. Okay, now they say if you want to do this 3 action, making field mandatory visible in only, don't go for the client script. Always use the UI policy, a best one. If you want to populate the field, which is based on the another field, use the client script, because you cannot achieve that quickly in the UI policies. But in this part, this book introduced a new word called the glide AJAX. You will see in the upcoming classes. So another popular use of the client side scripting, that populating a field based on the value of the another one. This is a question which generally asked in the interview, specifically to the developer teams, and now it has been trend. It has been asked to everybody, even you're a consultant as well. Okay, now let's scroll down here. Showing hiding form section, you can use the client script. Onload. If a user has a rights, if a user has a role, then he or she should be able to see this data, otherwise, or this section, otherwise he or she should not be able to see that particular section. Now review, or I can say the testing part. Review says don't create a lot of scripting. That will be problematic for you. You have to be maintained. Again, documentation is mandatory. If you see my customization video, which I launched a few days back, if you see that part, I mentioned that the best practice says the documentation. More you document, that will be easy for you. Now, how a developer know that is my script is working fine or not? I'm not saying that it is giving the expected output. Is it be compiling completely or not? Then developer use the alert message. Like if you remember in the Day2 section, we have a, I guess, get message something is there, right? If I remember correctly, let me see that what message we're talking about here to check my J at this point. Let me see and let put it here. Element part, not element. Sorry, not element. It is not element. Something like this here, right? Let me come here, right? So you can use some kind of a coding or the get message or the get message kind of things. You can use it with your different name. That okay, this code belongs to me. Okay, so now we are on the this part here. Review part. Okay, so you can use the alert messages specifically if you want to see that, because developer want to see that is their code is working fine or not. Then they put alert message in after the every or 2 lines. You can use in the alert message you can put the debug message. Like maybe if I want to put, I can put it here like this, or I can put this like this. Here I can go and put alert. Why? Just to see is my code is working fine or not. Line by line, 2 lines, 3 lines, I can see that is working fine or not. This is the one way that you can do the testing your scripts. So like this, it is an alert message. So what they are doing, they're doing the function onload, alert start of the script, so that the developer should know that okay, my script is running or not. They're taking the short description before showing the error message, then setting up the value, then showing the message, getting the value and showing the message. By showing the alert message, the purpose is that just to make sure that yes, my script is working as expected or not. This is one of the trick I can say which developer generally use in the scripting part. But too many messages also irritate to the customer or to the user. Always make sure that you can use this alert message when you're doing a testing at your side, but these should not be go to the production anyhow. But the question comes, Atul, how we can make sure that in the production the script is working fine or not. Then you can use the JS log, JavaScript log, and you can put a specific message to find out that this is the script which is written by you and is working fine or not. The same which we discussed in the class 2 session here. Okay, and at last there is something can be tested on the browser, which is not mainly for the Google Chrome. For the Google Chrome, you can download some kind of extensions or other part to check the JavaScript is running fine or not, and you can do the testing very easy. Like sometime we do. I'm not sure that it is working fine or not. So function F12. So like this is a kind of a source code I can put. It's all the Java only. That okay, what is working, what is not working. So by this way you can test your code as well. A lot of methods are there, so being a developer you can easily check that part here. Okay, now let me come to the last section of this part, that is few examples here. So what it's saying, function onload, it's saying if a GS underscore user, as of now we done only for the GS underscore form, but in the glide classes for the client side we done the GS underscore user as well, has a role ITIL admin, then related record should be false to him, otherwise true to him. So it is kind of a things that why a user not able to see these sections when he log in, why he's not able to see these sections like this. If I talk these sections or maybe these sections kind of things, because we have a client script on the top which saying that if a user has an access, only then he or she is able to check that part, see that part. So these things you can do easily on the G underscore user. So nothing new is there now. The only thing is that the point which we discussed in the glide classes, we are using those functions and the methods now in the scripting part. Okay, the other one you can see here that on change like this. What it's saying on the change, that if new value is empty then return false. If new value is network, so they're using the case. So like we have a while loop, for loop, if loop, then we have a case as well. So what it's saying, we have a function called the control like this. Switch new value. If user is putting the network, then set the urgency as a 1. If user is setting the value as a database, then put as a let copy this code and on change. Let go here and use the client script here, and let me put LNG which we were creating earlier. This is what on change, and now let copy this code here and we will see that how it's be working or not. Okay, so Control A, Control V. Okay, it is half code. Let me do the other code as well, like break and default like this. So now if you want to see like this G underscore form, let me do little bit formatting here. It's look good now. Let save it. So what it's saying, urgency if the new value is network in the category, okay, then on change we have to put that on change on which particular field. I'm putting the field on the category here. Okay, on change and click, because I'm doing on change. Which field get changed, then how this work. Let's see that are we able to get some success or not. Sometimes I feel don't bad that why my code is not working, because I have this much knowledge only. So let's click on the new here and let change it. So now urgency is 3. Let me put software. Is it working? No, it is not working. Let's say network. Yes, now it's working. Why? Because let's go here. It said network, database, or anything else if you do. So now if I do anything other than network or database, if I put hardware, it is showing 3. Why? Because this script is working here. So this is called the on change functionality here. Again, nothing much. This thing I can say you always keep for your coding part here. This is be mandatory here. Without this, it will create a problem. It will be like an infinite loop, and always it will be running. When the form loaded, it will check and it will execute this part. So better you keep this always in your coding part. Now the next part which I'm coming here, the last, or I can say the next exercise is the on submit. So this is what on submit. Function on submit, if user has a role ITL and get value of the description is blank, then show the message here, which we are trying to be achieved earlier. So let's come here, copy and do it here. And let's search for the LNG. On submit. This is what we are doing, which we are not able to get success like this, because we are checking the wrong thing here. Copy and let's do the formatting here. So it's saying G user has this part, or maybe we can try this thing as well. This thing. Let's see, will it work or not? I'm not sure that how many developers are watching this video now. So they can say, Atul, you are very bad, don't try these things again. Let's try this part and reload this. And that is on submit we are doing, right? Okay, we have already one script which is making description as a mandatory, so it will not work now. Or maybe we can use some other field. Let's say assignment group. Come here and change it to the assignment underscore group. Remember, I'm copying this part, name, not the label. Okay. Then I'm just putting this message for the purpose only. Let's say save here. And now reload this page just to see that what is be happening. And let's save this. Okay. Let's save this. So now we are getting an error message. Enter description to save. Why? How this be coming? It is coming from this particular error message. So it means our code previously was right, but we should mention like this only, which we did not that time. So this is called the on submit part here. Now come to the next part, is basically on the on cell edit. So what it says, if I copy this part and just show you that how it's working, and let go here, client scripts, LNG, on cell edit, on change. Okay, let's say let's create a new one, on cell edit, and let me copy the code here. Okay, and leave on cell edit table incident, and type on cell edit on which I want to put on the priority, because I'm checking the impact. that user should not allowed to change the impact from the list view. Let's see if I can put some message here. What it's saying? It's saying get dot message, right? G underscore form. I'm not sure that it will work or not. No, it will not work. Get message. I'm again not sure will it work or not. Or let's say get message you. It's not working. Let do some R&D. Let's see I'm expert or not here. And save this part. So what we are doing in this particular script, if I show you something here, we are making the on-cell edit where we're saying save and close or true. Means if the condition match, then the true should be go in the save and close variable. And in the callback, I'm using this true as well. You can directly use as well callback as a true, but this is what it is recommended. I am just saving the value of true in the variable called the save and close. And then we're doing this part. Let's come and check this thing. Can we make a change on the impact? Is impact on the here? No, let me bring that impact field here. Save. What they're saying that if you are trying to make the impact as a 1, then you should not. Let me try my luck here. Good. We are getting this message. It means it is working as expected for us. But if I make it as a 2, so the callback is working successfully. It means this script is working successfully, but still my message is not working here. Text string 1 per line available on the client script as localized message using the get message. I'm not sure that guys why it's not working, so I would like to avoid this. Let me try save here. Okay, so this was the last one which we done on this part, on cell edit. So you can see here, this is the code which we write it here. Okay, UI policy, we already done that. If true, then how? If false, then how it should be work. Okay, like Tata and welcome was the one example which we done earlier in our discussion here. Okay, so with this I done for the today's session on the client side script, UI policy scripting. If you like this video, if you get a little bit information, little bit knowledge, please put in the comment section, share your feedback. I try to be improved, guys. See you soon in the next session again. Have a nice day till the time. Bye bye. Take care.